not just raising kids, but in the paid formal labor market, who, because there was no universal child care in this country, like any halfway decent country, and no universal medical coverage, had to choose between losing their Medicaid, losing taking care of their kids, and going into the workforce, or staying on TANF. And the dirty little secret is, and we have to say this till we're blue in the face, the problem with capitalism isn't that TANF or income support pays too much, it's that work pays too little.
That was one of Joe's shorter presentations. He is available to speak at college campuses and universities, just don't talk to him.
I didn't even push my book.
No, don't have time for everything. I will introduce Bertha Lewis. Bertha Lewis is Chief Executive Officer and Chief Organizer of an organization you probably have heard of. It's called ACORN. It is the largest community organization in the country. She oversees the operations of ACORN's 400,000 strong membership. It's quite for its DSA. It is active in over 110 cities across the country. She is a 16-year veteran of the organization, and she was most recently the executive director of ACORN's New York affiliate and is a founding co-chair of the New York Working Families Party. Bertha Lewis.
Yes, it's me, Notorious. First of all, let me just say, I would like to give my honor to all of you and give you all a hand, because any group that says I'm young, I'm democratic, and I'm a socialist is all right with me. It is like, that's no light thing to do, to actually say, I'm a socialist. As you guys know, right now we are living in a time which is going to dwarf the McCarthy era. It is going to dwarf the internment during World War II. We are right now in a time that is going to dwarf the era of Jim Crow and segregation. We are in it right now. This is not theoretical. This is not, well, maybe it could be, and, this is for real. When we're talking about this economic crisis, and I was like, crisis? What? Crisis? When did this crisis start? Me and mine have always been in a crisis. Always. It's nothing new. Always. For 10 years, my organization had been saying that the sky was falling. Predatory lending was going to bring us down. We all resented Bill Clinton. Jokingly, people going to call him the first black president. Come on now. How insulting is that? Especially when welfare reform was all about black people. And yes, H.R. 10, if some of you will go back, with Bill Clinton sitting behind his big desk with a bunch of white guys around him signing the abolishment of the Glass-Steagall Act. We're living this right now. These are very dangerous times. Don't let people say to you that there is a crisis. Yes, it's a crisis for them, but we've always been in a crisis. If you're poor, if you're working, and if you're a person of color in this country, you know, it's like folks used to say, you know, when master sneeze, we say, we got a cold. And that's what's happening here. Wall Street sneezes and we have, you know, the swine flu. To be visited or not. Global corporations, gee, they still have a lot of money. You know, none of these people are on the unemployment line. None of them are trying to get food stamps. There is still a lot of money out there. I mean, how blatant do they have to be? You know, we're going to have all of these sort of talk shows about Wall Street bonuses. How can there even possibly be a bonus? How insane is this? A bonus? And you know, people just go along as if, you know, it really is all about how big it is. You know, this is one instance where size does not matter. It should be not how big is your bonus or how tiny is your bonus. No bonus. None. Hollywood. I'm so sick of Hollywood. I can't. How do we live in a universe in which a movie can cost hundreds of millions of dollars and then be talked about because it hit over the $1 billion mark? How insane is that? And yet, there is an argument in Congress that healthcare is too sweeping and too expensive. How is it that we have a war that's going on and we have, in the month of January, more suicides having been committed by servicemen and women than all of the troops that were killed in Iraq and Afghanistan? Human beings gone. How is it that we can have a multi-trillion-dollar industry called Hollywood and with a straight face say we can't afford health care? That's ridiculous. And yet, sort of, you know, let's have the pundits debate it and talk about it. And, you know, first year in high school, it's like when you get Logic 101, you got to accept the premise. Well, young democratic socialists, again, the reason that I'm glad to be here today, always invite me every year, and I will always come, is because you all did not accept the premise. And folks know that, you know, we are the canary in the mine in this new reactionary era. And one of the things that really is shameful is the so-called progressive liberal foundations in this country. When you want to talk about, you know, building institution and organizing, and Joe's right. You know, you got to knock on a door. You actually have to meet up together. You actually have to make a strategy. And it's not just one march. And, you know, that's mobilizing. And it's not just being for the right thing and asking people to do the right thing. That's advocacy.